I was waiting for a crosstown train in the London Underground when it struck me that I've been waiting my whole life since birth to find a love that would look and sound like a movie. So I changed my plans. I rented a camera and a van, and then I called you. I need you to pretend that we are in love again, and you agreed to. Hello everyone, this is your friendly neighborhood lion. Today is February 11th, I believe, 2016. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning right now, so I have to speak pretty softly. And I'm here to do another Q&A with you guys to answer some of your questions, okay? So, right off the bat, here we go, to jump right into it. Michael Norte, he says, "Good evening, Lazy Lion. Just wanted to say how much I admire your work and your urge to keep on going to your path to greatness. You are an inspiration, and what I especially love about your channel is the concepts and ideas of the mind, and how we are all, in a way, limitless, and how we can unlock our limitless potentials, broadening our horizons. I wanted to get your take on Stephen Hawking's proposal of black holes being a gateway to a new dimension, or an alternate world. It would be great to get a response if possible. Good luck in all of your endeavors." Hello, my friend Michael. Thank you so much for your comment, for your question, and I'm going to do my best to answer right now. And I apologize for taking so long to do so. So, when it comes to black holes, the average concept in science and the average idea or the average conception is that anything that enters a black hole will be swallowed and will be condensed into an infinite mass with an infinite density, okay? So if you or me or any kind of object that we know or that we care about were to enter anywhere near a black hole and cross what is known as the event horizon, that is where the gravitational pull is so strong that no form of matter that we know can escape this pull of gravity, not even light, my friends. It will be condensed into an infinite matter, into an infinite space and an infinite density. Well, what Stephen Hawking has proposed, and I believe a couple other physicists, but I'm not sure, is they have proposed that actually, at the end of this process, this matter needs to go somewhere, and sometimes it can come out of what is known as a white hole, or it can exit the black hole into another dimension. Do I believe this personally? Yeah, sure. Why not? These men are much smarter than me, much smarter than I will ever be. So, the concept that things can enter or exit our physical dimensions, our universe, makes perfect sense to me. I completely agree with this. And it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense to me. This kind of goes back to quantum mechanics a little bit, or to the multiverse theory, where no matter what decision you make, at any given point in time, there's an infinite number of universes that are being created every single second of every single day, all the time. Whether you went left or right or up or down, or you said yes or no, there's a universe somewhere out there in existence where the opposite happened, where you went left instead of right, or you went up instead of down, where you told somebody yes to a question, or you told somebody no. And I believe this extends to every aspect of our lives, especially relationships. I think about this with females all the time, is that, in certain realities I was with a certain girl, or in other realities I wasn't with them, you know what I mean? This gives me a peace of mind, and I recommend that you guys do the same, you girls do the same when thinking about your world and your life. So, if the smartest man on this planet is gonna say, yes, there is a possibility that things can enter a black hole and exit to another universe, absolutely I agree with that. Not only because it's the smartest man on this planet, but because it actually makes logical sense to me. Don't listen to something just because someone tells you it's just because somebody has a PhD or someone is quote unquote smarter than you. Agree with them because it's actually what you believe. It's what you hold dear to you. It's something that makes sense in your brain, you know? So, Michael, great question. Keep them coming, guys. Keep your questions coming. Please keep asking me questions about anything. I need your questions in order to make these videos. Without you, I can't make the videos. You know what I mean? Please keep asking. Alright, here we go. So, that was actually a message. Now we're going to the comments. Okay, cool. Manny Praise 116. He says, one of my pecs is smaller. How can I fix the imbalance? I use the mind muscle connection and I focus on the smaller one, and I just hit my chest hard, and I hope that they will even out. You know, muscle imbalance is a pretty interesting topic. The one thing that I can tell you, the one thing that I can give advice to any human being when in regards to muscle imbalance, in regards to trying to make a more symmetrical being, a more symmetrical physique, is isolation exercises. Not so much isolation where you only use one joint, but isolation in the sense that you isolate each limb. So instead of just doing a normal bench press with a barbell, what I would say is use dumbbells. That way, each individual pec muscle, each individual chest, part of your chest, has to work to get the weight up. You know what I mean? So if you're using, 40, 50, 60 pounds, whatever you guys use, 80 pounds, 100 pounds for your dumbbell presses, each pec has to do the same amount of weight, as opposed to a barbell, the 45-pound barbell. If one of the pecs is a little bit lagging, the other pec can compensate and it can help you get that weight up. But if you're using dumbbells, well, there's no compensation that's involved. You have to be equally as strong in order to move the weight. Also, when you're doing pec flies, like the pec deck, where you sit back, you know what I mean, and you have the two handles right here, and you bring them close together. I do them in isolation. Not only do I do them with both hands like this, I do them one arm at a time. So I'll do them like this, where I pull the weight all the way across my chest with one arm, and then I'll do the same thing with the other arm. So these are just a few things that I recommend that you do. Also, with cable flies. Oh my gosh, cable flies, very important. And I've only discovered this exercise in the past 6 months or so, within the past year of my life. Is instead of just doing the normal cable flies from low to high or high to low, you can do it, in my opinion, you just have it kind of parallel with your body, with your arm, and I do one arm at a time. I will grab the machine, and I will pull it across my body with one arm, a little bit higher and a little bit lower, and same thing with the other arm. I believe that these types of exercises will bring up the imbalances that you have inside of your chest or inside of any muscle at all, whether it be your shoulders, you know what I mean? If one deltoid is bigger than the other, just do side laterals with one delt or the other delt. Biceps, triceps, you know what I mean? This extends to every part of your body. I do rows, seated rows for my lats, for my back, with just one arm at a time. All these different things, legs, I do every single part of my body in isolation. I work each individual limb on its own because I don't want my left side to be stronger than my right side, and I don't want my right side to be stronger than my left side. I want everything to be equal as much as I can, So that's what I recommend. Once again, Manny Praise 116, he asks, will you cut your hair for $10,000? Would I cut my hair for 10 grand, you ask me? I mean, if somebody held up, $10,000 right now and said, yeah, like, here you go, I will pay you this to cut your hair, I would. But in the theoretical sense, no, I would not. You know what I mean? Like, I would not cut my hair for that amount of money. No. because I don't believe anybody would ever pay someone that amount of money to do that, you know? But in reality, yeah, I would, of course, you know what I mean? Because this only took me 4 years to grow. It took me 4 years to grow. So would I cut it for 10 grand? If I could make 10 grand in a matter of 5 minutes, like how long would it take me to cut this off? You know what I mean? I would shave it. 5 minutes. It would take me 5 minutes. So what? If you're talking about dollars per hour, the average human being, I think minimum wage is like $7 an hour, $8 an hour in the United States. If I could make $10,000 in 5 minutes for cutting my hair, yeah, I would. But otherwise, no. I don't know when I'm going to cut it. There are 2 reasons that I would cut my hair, and I'm not going to tell you what those 2 reasons are, because if I do tell you, they might not come true. But you'll know if I cut my hair, if my hair is shaved one day, if I make a video and my head is just shaved one day, you'll know one of my 2 reasons has come true. And then I will tell you. Then I will divulge the information to you about the 2 reasons. And you can guess all day. Please comment down below what you believe the 2 reasons that I would cut my hair. There's only 2 on this planet Earth that I can think about that would make me cut my hair. And I guess the 3rd one, this one I will tell you, is if I want to. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, yeah, I just want to cut my hair. You know, I want to cut my hair. I'm done with having long hair. Boom, I'll cut it. That's the 3rd reason. But there's 2 legitimate reasons that I would actually cut this hair. Okay, once again, this guy keeps going. Thank you so much, Manny. Manny Praise 116. He asked me, do you still work out? How many times a week? And when will you make another workout video? Yes. I still work out. How many times a week? I think I answered this on another video a couple weeks ago. I work out on average 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, depending on the week. You know what I mean? So between 3 and 5 times a week, I work out. I go to the gym. But keep in mind, when I go to the gym, I never just train one body part. I never just train shoulders, or I never just train chest. It's always 2 or more body parts that I train. Preferably 2. It's always about 2, unless it's legs. If it's legs, then it's just legs. But then again, that's 3. That's quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves. So even that's 3 body parts in one day. So I never just train one muscle a day. I used to do that all the time. But now when I go in, I train one muscle, and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh man, I gotta train something else. I gotta train something else before I leave to feel satisfied. I don't know why I do this. I've been doing what is known, at least what I call, and I think other people call it too, call this instinctive training. I walk into the gym every day and I don't really know what I'm gonna train, to be honest with you guys. That's why it makes me upset when people say, what is your split, man? What is your workout routine? Blah, blah, blah. What is this? What is that? I don't know. I genuinely do not know, because I go into the gym every day and I think, what have I not trained in the past couple of days? And then I train that muscle. And in general, this is a technique, I believe, that advanced lifters use 10 years, 20 years into lifting weights, that what people do, and I'm only into my 3rd or 4th year into bodybuilding, you know, and I'm already using this type of technique. And I don't really agree that it's the best technique. I wouldn't say it's the best way to go about it, because if you have a set day for certain muscles, I actually probably would say that is the best way to go about it. That is the best possible scenario. But instinctive training is pretty much what I've been doing. So if I'm like, man, I want to get a pump in my back and I want to do some deadlifts and I want to do some rows and some lat pull downs, then I'll go ahead and do that. And then the next day I'll say, oh man, my back's really sore. Time to do some chest, or time to do some shoulders or buys or tries or legs. Like, I'll just go ahead and do that. I don't have a set routine, and maybe I should. I probably should. Given this point in my life, it's only been about 4 years. It's coming up on 4 years of bodybuilding for me. Study for your test. I know, I need to start studying for it. I know, you're right. You're so right. Okay, well, this video might end right here because of this guy. AZN King X7, he says, hello, Lazy Lion. Why does the universe even exist? Every time I think about this, I get chills down my spine, realizing how small that I am. Well, let me talk about the end of your question, talking about the end of your statement. How small we really are. let's see if I can rattle off some facts that I learned from college about, 4 years ago or three years ago, about half a decade ago. So, if I remember correctly, we're planet Earth, and we have one star, right, that we rotate around, our sun. We reside inside of what is known as the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy has billions of suns, which is also known as billions of stars, okay? And then we have billions of other galaxies that reside around us and that we are near. And each one of those galaxies has billions and billions of suns, billions and billions of stars, and each one of those stars has planets that are orbiting them. And that is what is known as the universe. It goes the solar system, then galaxies, and then the universe. That is how we keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger in the grand scheme of things. We are insignificant. We are so tiny. You are correct. And you're right, it blows my mind. Think about this for a second, my friends. Think about the edge of the universe. We know, or we think we know, that the universe is continually expanding. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger due to dark matter and dark energy. It is getting constantly bigger and bigger and bigger. To me, I can accept that fact. I can accept that, like, you have an orb, that houses all of our stars, that houses all the galaxies and everything, and that it's growing. But here's what kind of explodes my mind, is thinking about the edge, thinking about the circumference, the edge of that orb, the edge of the universe, thinking about the outside of it. To me, when I try to conceptualize this, when I try to think about it, my brain, the frequencies turn into chaos. It turns into utter nonsense when I try to think that far out into the universe. Like, what is on the edge of the universe? What is on the absolute edge of existence? Because what's outside of it? You got to think there's more. There's something outside of it, right? Like, there's something to go towards. There's something to advance to. But when I conceptualize this, when I think about it in my brain and my mind, it turns to chaos. It turns to utter, discontinuousness. It turns to something I cannot comprehend. The edge of the universe. So why does it exist? To get to your question, why does the universe exist? I don't have an answer. But I will say this. Pretend that you were the architect of the universe. Pretend that you, or I, or any person that you know, was the one to create it. Because that's what we do as life forms. We create things. We take matter and we manipulate it and we create things, right? So let's pretend you were so powerful, you were so large, that you created the universe. Or that I created the universe. Well, why would I do that? Why would you do that if you were so powerful? You had infinite power, you had infinite knowledge. Why would you do anything? To me, personally, I would create something so that something could learn about me. It's very selfish. Could then learn about me, study me, and love me. Let me bring this down to earth for you. This is what I believe being a parent is. This is what I believe being a father is, or being a mother. Why would a mother or father have children, reproduce? It's only going to take expenses from them. It's only going to take energy away from them that they could use on themselves. Well, at the end of the day, I would have a child because I would want that child to learn to love me and the things I've created, the things I have given him or her. To some extent, you know what I mean? Because you also want them to be their own person. You don't want them to be completely like you, but you want to give them the choice to choose to do the things that you do or not, And you're going to love them either way. So why does the universe exist? I don't know. But if I was the architect, if I was the builder, the creator, I would want to step back. I would create something, and then I would step back, I would step away from it, and allow it to explore. I would allow it to explore its environment, allow it to explore the surrounding area, and hopefully, at the end of the day, find its way back to me. Does that make any sense? And this is just my opinion, just my thoughts. As a 24-year-old, I'm almost 25. And this has evolved through many years of my life. You know, this kind of thought or this kind of concept has evolved through many, many years that I've lived. But this is what I have to say to answer your question at this particular point in time, given my environment, given the things and the situations that I've been presented with throughout my life thus far, and given the circumstances that I am underneath right now. Okay? Well, the video is about 21 minutes long. I've already kept you guys long enough because I know according to Google Analytics, you only listened about 2 minutes of this video, and that's okay. To those of you that have stayed the whole time, thank you so much. You guys mean so much to me. I appreciate you. And stay tuned. This has been your friend, the Lion. And I hope that no matter what happens to you throughout your entire lives, whether it be good or bad, that you never stop seeking the truth. Take care.